Manchester United back in action again away in London against West Ham on the back of that really good late victory over Middlesbrough. That should give us a massive boost going into this game. 5 wins in a row in the Premier League. We haven't done that since the Sir Alex Ferguson era. Really pleased that we keep this momentum going because we're still 6th in the Premier League. We've just got to keep it going. This season it's going to be a real job to get into that top 4. It is every season, but you're going to have to get high points to get into that top 4 this season. Last season, Man City lost about over 10 games in the Premier League and finished in the top 4 in the 4th position. This season it's going to probably be around 4 or 5 games, maybe 6 at the most, to finish in that top 4. It's going to be really quite high points. All the teams in that top 5 or 6 have got a lot more points than they had at this stage last season. So we're going to just have to keep winning and just hoping that someone messes up. A couple of them mess up along the way. We've clawed a few points back on Manchester City now, so we're only 3 points behind them. If we can claw a gap back every couple of weeks, if we just keep winning and every couple of weeks one of them slips up, then we will be fine. But you don't know when this run's going to end. West Ham are in better form than they were a few weeks ago. They got a 1-1 draw against us in the Premier League and we beat them really easily in the League Cup. But this one is away from home, so I think it's going to be a really difficult game. They're a lot better side than Middlesbrough on paper. Middlesbrough don't really score too many goals, but still did cause us some problems, even though we dominated a lot of that game. Traore causing us a lot of problems, had Negredo up front. They were causing us problems, and the pace of Traore was really causing Blind a lot of problems in that game, so we've got to hope that that doesn't happen in this game. He wasn't nowhere near at his best daily Blind, but I wouldn't expect Jose Mourinho to make too many changes to the starting lineup for this game. But I would keep it similar lineup. He's going to have to choose which partner to partner, whether it's Smalling and Jones, Smalling and Rojo, or Jones and Rojo. I've got a feeling it's going to be Jones and Rojo at the back because Bay's at the African Cup of Nations now. Then, well, he's been told that he can't play in this one. He's not going off, so unfortunately we haven't got him. Valencia at right back, and I think he'll keep Daley Blind at well, he might even go for Darmian at left back after that performance. I mean, he wasn't terrible in that game, but he was nowhere at his best. But the lack of pace really showed for me against a quicker player. But I think he's a really intelligent player, Daley Blind, and I prefer him there to Darmian. Hopefully Luke Shaw can come back on the substitutes bench, maybe get some minutes against Reading in the FA Cup next weekend. In midfield, we've got to see Michael Carrick come back. Hopefully he's not ill anymore. I think it was precautionary. I don't think he was too bad. I think it was more of a rest over the Christmas period for him because he's going to play a lot of football this season. He's so vital to Manchester United. So we need him, Herrera and Pogba in the midfield 3. We've got to go with Zlatan up front, Martial on one side and Mkhitaryan on the other hand side. Martial showing his best against Middlesbrough, and for me was the man of the match in that game. Pogba was obviously fantastic as well. But I think that's our best front 3 and we've got to go with that for this game for me. I wouldn't want to rest any of them 3. He's probably going to rest Mkhitaryan, I would presume, and bring Jesse Lingard back in. I've got a feeling Martial will start again because he was fantastic in that game. But personally, I'd keep the front 3 of them 3 because up next we've got Reading. And personally, I think even if we could rest a couple of players for that, we should be looking to beat them okay. And at the worst come to the worst, you could have a draw and a replay in that. Whereas we have to get the 3 points in this game, or else we're going to put our top 4 hopes not in jeopardy, but it's going to take a massive dent because all the other teams at the top are winning the majority of the games. You're looking at the teams that the others have got, Arsenal, Bournemouth. Obviously it's a good chance because Tottenham have got Chelsea. One of them two is going to slip up, and I'm hoping that's at least a draw because Tottenham are the ones we've got to catch, and we're not going to catch Chelsea. And then you're looking at Liverpool, have got Sunderland, so they're going to win. You're looking at most of the top teams this year are beating the lesser teams down the bottom, so you've got to be winning your games. But I would go with a fairly strong lineup, only 2 or 3 changes to the whole lineup. West Ham are going to cause us problems. Antonio's been scoring goals this season. I'm not too sure if Andy Carroll's going to play. He can be a handful up front, gets injured way too much, probably doesn't score enough goals, but he's a real threat in the air, does cause a lot of problems. I'm just hoping we don't have to see Marouane and Fellaini to counter any of their players. We've seen that before against West Ham with Louis van Gaal playing Fellaini, but hoping we're not going to see that in this game, and Fellaini will be on the substitutes bench. But Payet is going to good. We know his deadly free kick, scored one against us last season. So, but Antonio's one to watch out for. Decent player. But besides that, they've not really got a striker out there besides Andy Carroll that's really going to threaten us. I think they should definitely be going in for Daniel Sturridge. I don't know why they haven't at least tabled a bid for him for January, because Daniel Sturridge isn't planned and he would be a perfect option for West Ham. But I'm hopeful that Manchester United can get the win. I could see this being a 1-1 draw, potentially a 2-1 to Manchester United. So if I'm going to sway one way or the other, I'll have to go for a Manchester United 2-1 victory. But I wouldn't be surprised at all if it is a draw. Hopefully not a West Ham win, because well, even a draw would be an absolute kick in the teeth, because some of them other teams are going to win and we don't want it to pull away from us. Again, I know we've got half a season to go, but we need to get into that top 4 if we can as quick as possible, with Europa League, League Cups coming up in a week or so, and then an FA Cup starting as well. So we've got a lot of games to play. We can't afford that. Anyway, like the video. Come on, Manchester United. We can keep this run going. 6 wins it would be on the bounce in the Premier League, which would be fantastic. Christ knows when we last done that. It would have been in the Sir Alex Ferguson era, but Christ knows when it was. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I wish you all a happy new year. Hopefully this is a good year for Manchester United. Talk to you all again